Hello, I'm Margaret Weston and I study school finance at the Public Policy Institute of California. Today I'd like to talk to you about education finance in California. Specifically, I'll focus on Proposition 30 and some of the key issues this year. In November 2012, Californians passed Proposition 30, a tax initiative that temporarily increases the state sales tax and the personal income tax on high-income earners. Its passage prevented large mid-year cuts to schools. The Department of Finance now projects that with Proposition 30 and an improving state economy, schools can expect an increase of more than $2,500 per pupil over the next 4 years. Despite the passage of Proposition 30, schools face ongoing fiscal challenges. Schools have seen significant reductions since 2007-8, and these projected increases essentially restore funding to that pre-recession peak. Furthermore, school districts in California have long been funded below the national average. Even at that peak pre-recession level, we were spending nearly $750 per pupil less than other states. This gap becomes even larger if adjusted for the high cost of living in California. Yet despite these recent funding cuts, student test scores continue to rise. In 2008, 46% of the state's students were proficient in English language arts, compared to 57% today, an increase of more than 11 percentage points. However, persistent achievement gaps between subgroups of students remain. In particular, economically disadvantaged pupils and English learners struggle on average to meet the state standards. For example, on the 4th grade math test last year, 63% of low-income students scored proficient or advanced, compared to 84% of non-economically disadvantaged students, a gap of 21 percentage points. The gaps are even larger in English language arts. To address this achievement gap, Governor Brown has proposed an overhaul of our school finance system that would direct significantly more resources to school districts serving large numbers of economically disadvantaged pupils and English learners. The proposal addresses other critiques of our school finance system by giving school districts more flexibility and authority to spend revenues they receive from the state, and by creating a more transparent system for parents and taxpayers. Over the next few months, policymakers will assess the governor's proposals and debate how to best allocate current and future funding increases, whether to increase funding for all students or to substantially increase funding for students who, on average, struggle academically. As more details of the governor's proposal are released, more issues are likely to arise. Another likely topic of debate this year is whether to allow school districts more authority to increase their revenues. Under current law, school districts can pass a parcel tax, a flat fee per parcel of land, with 2/3 voter approval. Approximately 12% of school districts located primarily in the San Francisco Bay Area have parcel taxes that raise approximately $450 per pupil. The legislature may decide to place a measure on the November 2014 ballot that would lower the threshold necessary to pass a parcel tax from 2/3 to 55%. School districts can already pass school construction bonds with 55% voter approval. Last year, the governor proposed a similar school finance overhaul that was ultimately rejected by the legislature. With his new proposal and potential changes to the parcel tax, we expect to continue to hear a lot of discussion this year about how we pay for education in California. Thank you for listening.